How are you, everybody who is watching this video? My name is Olenjolai once again is online, and I'm ready to pour out myself on what that God has put in my heart today for advanced secondary students. Well, whether you are international students or national students, or whether that you're international parent or guardians or sponsor, or a national parent or guardians or sponsor, this is a special online advanced secondary school where we are equipping all the students by using the power of the internet anywhere in the world and anywhere in Tanzania, so that they have to grasp and be successful and prosperous in their missions of being the mathematicians, the great scientists, the great engineers, the great doctor of medicine, the great pharmacists. So you have a passion of preparing those the students who will be specializing in different areas, and especially in science and mathematics. So I'm from Tanzania, east of the African country, and I'd like to take this moment to welcome you again. If I've welcomed you, I'd like to welcome you once again and once again. So I'm very happy to have you today in our online school that's called Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School, in square bracket Olenjolai M. Okay? For the O level, it does not have M, but for the A level, there is M, capital M. This is very important later for the rest of my life. Simultaneously, because I'm teaching also advanced mathematics, basic mathematics, I'm teaching basic mathematics, I'm teaching basic engineering mathematics, I'm teaching high engineering mathematics. So in all of those aspects, we meet with something we call simultaneous, right? Simultaneous equation. So simultaneously, I would like to welcome you into one of our YouTube channel. That's called Tanzania Online A-Level Seki School. So, excuse me, let me do the minor correction. Okay? So I did a mistake here in writing because I want to give you the right name. So once you are in YouTube search engine, you can search for this channel right now and receive the contents, because the good news, until this time when we are recording this lecture session 2 of coordinate geometry 2, we have already added more than hundreds videos of advanced education in our YouTube channel. So it means that our YouTube channel is called Tanzania Online A-Level Seki School, in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. Seki, these are abbreviations of secondary, right? So the next three questions after you've been welcomed, for instance, imagine that you've come to my house, so I have to welcome you. And when you accept my welcome, you get in. And then, basically you're going to have a seat on the sitting rooms. So now you're in sitting rooms of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School, in square bracket OLENJOLAIM. The next question now, okay, I came to your house, Olenjolai, or I came to your house, Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary Schools. What am I going to get? How am I going to benefit on coming and leaving all my schedules and leaving everything that my favorite things to come to your house? Then now you are asking questions of the purpose. You ask a question of the vision. What visions do you have in Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School? That the questions that you have in your mind, and actually it's very important questions even for your private life. Well, there is the answer for that question, but I don't have enough times to answer, to give, just to tell you everything. But I've been allowed to tell you one thing. One thing that I have to tell you, because according to the book of Proverbs, chapter 29, verse 18, because I live in scriptures, and scriptures are in me and I'm in scriptures, right? So Proverbs chapter 29, verse 18, it says that where there is no vision, people perish. Where there's no visions, even if you come to the sitting rooms of my house, but there's no visions, you are going to perish, and the owner of that house is going to perish. Similarly to you right now. I'm the owner. I'm just a donkey, because God is the one who is going to teach you who is in me, already inside me. So I'm just a donkey, just to carry him. And he's going to work to do extraordinary things right now. and go and simplify everything. So it means that I have an assignment, that the answer of that assignment, right? If I don't have visions in Tanzania Online or Advanced Secondary Schools in Olenjolai, myself, who is the founder of this school, online schools, I'm going to perish. And even yourself, who is possibly the visitor or the student, or maybe the hobbyist of mathematics, or maybe you are the college students or whatever, or maybe you are just, you are motivating, so you're a motivator, etc. You're a teacher, you're a student, then you will also perish according to the scriptures, because scriptures lives. Okay, so now the questions that what the visions we have. Okay, this is an assignment that I have been given by God, who have built the gift of teaching in me, just like the gift of flying, how he built in the gift of flying into the birds. Birds, they don't attend the flying schools. Similarly, if God built the teaching gift in you, in most cases you find that you don't need to worry about how are you going to release it, because it's a seed. When the seed gets the soil, gets the nutrients, then it has to get out, right? Similarly also to this program right now. This is an assignment that we have been given by God, right? And this assignment, if you want to analyze it, just go and read the entire chapter of the book. The entire chapter 41, means the book of Genesis, chapter 41. Just read the entire chapter, but concentrate on verse 37, 38, 39, because that's what has been written in our mind. Because we have another department which is called Kingdoms of Heaven, departments of praise the Lord, as Psalms 150. Verse 1 through 6, we are going to ponder that concept that I'm telling right now. But this is an assignment which I have an assignment to teach, to train, to incubate, to mentor, to motivate, to lead, to encourage some group of students who are ready to extract knowledge from advanced education of any curriculums of United Republic of Tanzania, curriculums of Kenya, curriculums of United States of America, curriculums of Egypt, curriculums of South Africa, curriculums of Niger, curriculums of Nigeria, any curriculums, right? Any curriculums, who will be ready to extract knowledge from the classroom instructions in mathematics, advanced mathematics for this case, and advanced science, means advanced physics, advanced chemistry. And later on, I know that God is going to send his servants, and then we'll also offer the advanced biology, because we want to prepare the best scientists and best mathematicians to solve the real life, right? So immediately we'll be helping the students to extract the knowledge from the education they are getting, whether formal or informal, whether private candidates or school candidates, whether they are studying open schools or private schools or government schools. And then we teach you to extract the knowledge from the Word of God, right? Written in the Holy Bible. And then we'll take you to the steady point where we combine, we mix this knowledge, because you're being created to have that capability to mix the knowledge from the classroom instructions and to mix the knowledge from the Word of God. That's what Joseph has done in interpreting the Pharaoh's dream, right? In order to solve the real life problems. If you're Tanzanian, you have to think on solving at least one real life problems in our country. Whether in your family, whether in your street, whether in your village, we are not going to school to have certificates. That's not the primary goals of going to school. The primary goals of going to school is to solve a particular problem. So that's the vision, that's an assignment. So basically, our visions has 4 parts. Number 1, to extract knowledge from the formal and informal educations in advanced educations, especially for advanced mathematics, and also basic and applied mathematics, and also advanced physics, advanced chemistry, later on advanced biology. We are still praying also, possibly we might have even the calling for advanced agriculture. Okay? And then the second part is to understand and extract knowledge from the Word of God. And the third part now to mix it, to combine. Right? And you know what the first part is? To solve real life problems. So our main goal in Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School is to see ourselves, myself, I'm solving a real life problems right now. This is the real life problems of myself, this is my own real life problems that God has created for me to solve it. But there's millions of problems in your community. Just open your eyes. There's so many problems that need solutions, and actually that right solutions and permanent solutions. So I believe that you who is watching me right now, there's a one for you, and you can solve it. Okay, so the main objective is to see ourselves and our students solving real life problems. I know what I'm telling you, it might be sounding like impossible. Yeah, myself, I'm a product of the knowledge from the formal and informal classroom instructions. I'm a product also of the knowledge obtained in the Word of God, written in the Bible, Holy Bible. And also I used to combine, even when I'm solving these real life problems of teaching that students need to be taught in a simplified language, in a fantastic way, and then they have to see the advantage of what they are learning, their applications. So there's a great demand of the students' hearts, and they are thirsting for that, and they don't get it. Okay, so it means that I'm solving real life. So myself, I received this information that I'm sharing to you 7 years ago, and I've begun to apply my own private life. And then when I heard for the first time, I saw it is impossible. But now it is possible, because you see now, you enjoy the fruits. I'm a product of that. I'm a product of God in that particular way. So regardless of how many, it might take several months or several years, but we are going to achieve it. I think you got it, right? So before I take you into the contents that we have on the blackboard, I just want that in TANZANIA Online Advanced Secondary Schools, square bracket Olenjolai, we have a department. We have a library, excuse me. We have departments and we have library. A library that providing the contents, the books, the notes of advanced education, right? The first weapon that I call the weapons for my students that I like to equip all my students, this is special for Olenjolai students, is advanced mathematics syllabus for advanced secondary education from 5 through from 6. Possibly you are watching these contents from another country away from Tanzania, from Kenya, from Nigeria. Don't worry about me mentioning the syllabus of my own country. Even yourself, you can check the syllabus of your own country and then check the contents, because I always mention the contents of my sessions before even I start to teach, and then you come and you enjoy the stuff, then you kick your exams and even you apply to solve the real life of your country, right? Okay, so this is the first weapons. You can access, you can order this book, you can order the copy of it. We can ship in all 71 regions of Tanzania. Just to go to this part of this video in the descriptions, hit that buttons, and then you can see the process of how you can order this book online, because there is a cost of buying this book and also the shipping cost into any regions, including Unguja and the Pemba, right? The second weapons is we call the textbook, right? The textbook, if you go through the general session 00, which is general introductions of advanced mathematics from 5 and through from 6, I mentioned this so many textbook. This is the one of the sample. We have this book. You see, it is new. It's ready to be sold to you, right? You can buy one. You can use during your advanced education. So if you don't succeed, also you can use during your ordinary diploma if you will be pursuing engineering courses. So this is called Pure Mathematics 1. It's a fantastic book, powerful book, a very nice book. I used it myself during my advanced education. You can order it right now. Just click the descriptions and you can see the selling costing, the selling price, and also you may see also the shipping price. However, the shipping price we just put an average. It can be greater than the average or less than, it can be greater than the average, because there's a difference in shipping costing according to the distance from the restaurant, because right now we are doing these programs in the restaurant. Okay, so against the set weapons is Advanced Mathematics 1 Review. This is the question and answer book. It comprises one thing that I like in this book is comprises past papers questions from 2003 through 2018. They'll be written by some of the Tanzanians. So it's a nice book for you. You can order it, okay, and then we can try your level best to ship to you so that you may enjoy the contents of it. Okay, against the first weapons in mathematics also, we have some topics we categorize them as paper 2. For example, called geometry 2. This is just, you will find these questions in advanced mathematics, mathematics 2. That's we call paper 2, which we call advanced certificate secondary education examination, paper 2, advanced mathematics, okay, paper 2. And this also comprises questions from 2003 to 2018. Some of the solutions here are wrong, I know that, these are human beings, they're not machine, they make some mistake. But according to my review, more than 90% they were right. They did a great job. So the remaining part is just a task of teaching students to correct and accept those minor errors in order to advance it. Okay? So again, it's another weapons which is actually right now it's not in a format that you can order also a copy of our festive versions notes, because I know some of the students, they used to ask me that how can you access your notes. So you can order it and then so we can ship to you so that you may enjoy the beauty of advanced education. So in Tanzania online advanced secondary schools, we have some departments. We have departments of advanced mathematics, where we are teaching 4 subjects. We have departments of advanced physics, we are teaching 2 subjects. We have departments of advanced chemistry, we are teaching 2 subjects. We have departments of the kingdoms of heavens, we are teaching so many subjects. We have a departments of praise and laws, as Psalm 150, verse 1 through 6, we are teaching more subjects there. And also we have the departments of worship the Lord, worship our God worship our God in spirit and truth, as John chapter 4, verse 19 through 26. We have also so many subjects. So basically right now we have 60 departments. Fantastic. And this is the online schools. It's not a physical school. So you access everything online. No any physical interactions. I have just advanced multimedia devices or equipments that are taking this message from my mind to anywhere in the entire country of Tanzania and even the African continents. So now let us go to the sessions. Then let us begin. We have the subject of advanced mathematics. We are in chapter 1 of the Form 60. We call it coordinate geometry 2. Okay, then this is the first subtopic, which is called conic section. This is session 2, the concepts of conic sections and the context of the conic sections. This context is for the pre-Form 60 and also for the Form 60 or class 14. Excuse me, this is class 14 in some of the countries, or for the high school students. And also these contexts are relevant for all the NTA level 60, third year ordinary diploma students, third year ordinary diploma students. They have a module called conic sections or conics and the differential equation. So I will be combining. So I'll be using this single lecture or this single session just to teach both group of students, advanced Form 60, pre-Form 60 and Form 60 students, and also basic technicians who are doing ordinary diploma in engineering courses and science courses, who have the fundamental modules, which is called the conics and the differential or coordinate geometry. For example, in the technical colleges are called coordinate geometry. So I'll be teaching them, unless there is a sum of the differences, then I will distinguish. So it means that I'll be focusing for this moment, so I'll be focusing on this one. These general introductions, they are learning the same contents. So we have to stay focused on it. So let me do the quick review of session 1, just to link my today's session and the previous session. So in session 1, basically, I shared with you the big picture of mathematics in general, right? I said this is the oldest subject we learned since we were at home. For instance, myself, I'm a Maasai. My tribe is a Maasai. So when I was young, before even I went to school, I was just taking care, or I was a shepherd of goats, right? Goats and the sheep. So I used to count them, right? I used to count them. So that's the subject of numbering. So I used to count them. I've been taught how to count basically from 1 to 10. So this is the fundamental subjects, right? So it's an oldest subject, and I want to tell you that this is the life-changing subject. Okay, so the big picture 40 of mathematics. Again, I presented to you the 8 topics or 8 chapters of 40 of advanced mathematics Form 6. So I shared with you, presented to you. Then, once again, that was not enough. Shall we see about those 8 chapters? We took the chapter of coordinate geometry. Then I shared with you about 5 subtopics. I taught you 5 subtopics of 40 of coordinate geometry. which I mentioned them, that the first subtopic is called the conics, the second subtopic is called the parabola, the third subtopic is called the ellipse, the fourth subtopic is called the hyperbola, and then the fifth subtopic is called the coordinate or polar coordinates. Because when I was giving you the general introductions, I know many students, they say that, we expect you to solve mathematics here. Yes, we are going to solve more than you think. So don't worry about those, because those informations are very important for you to have those. Okay, especially in these fundamental or basic sessions. Then we say that after having these subtopics, then I presented to you specific objectives, right? Specific objectives of 40 of each subtopic. So we did a great job there, and then possibly we ended at that point, right? We ended on the specific objectives of each subtopic, because I say we had first subtopic is called the conic section, which we are going to learn today. The second subtopic we are going to learn about parabola. The third subtopic is called the ellipse. But the ellipse that advanced secondary students have to cover is quite different from the conics for advanced secondary educations is not the same. It means the contents, some of the contents, it means that the universal contents is the contents for the advanced secondary education, right? But we say that the content for the ordinary diploma, which is NTA level 60, is just a subset of what you are covering in coordinate geometry in advanced education. So that's why I say that once I find the same concept that they have to be covered by ordinary diploma students of the same year, that's we call it in Tanzania NTA level 6, and those contents have to be covered by pre-form 60 or form 60 students who study in advanced mathematics, so I can make one session for them, right? But in case of the distinctions, I'll distinguish them. And the way that we see the distinctions, that when I'll just change the names of the school. Ordinary diploma, we have a particular institutions for them. Okay, so I believe you've understood to me. So then, again, you're wondering, are we going to solve so many problems? Or here we are going to have politics? No, this is not a political class. This is the mathematics and scientific class. This is the mathematics class and scientific class. That's what our business that we have in advanced secondary school. Then we have against, okay, connectivity. The last one is we call the polar coordinates. So let us break down now this topic, and then let us count the contents of conic section. What am I going to teach you in conic section? Number one, I'm going to teach you first of all, just before even we define the meanings of conic section. Okay, so I think that here. So definition of conic section, right? Definition of conic section. Then number two, we say that according to the syllabus, we say that representing or just the cut, the cone, okay, cut the cone to have the conic section. Conic section, right? And then number three, I'll teach you the list of conic section. List of conic sections. We have four conic sections. And then the last part, then I will teach you about terminologies. These are the common words, terminologies of 40 of conic section. So these are the four concepts that you have to cover in order to understand the concepts of 40, the concepts of conic section. Okay? Get prepared to enjoy the beauty of advanced mathematics. Again, I ask you that we are going to have more than 500 videos in Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary School. We ask you, my dear students, my dear brother, my dear teacher, to subscribe into these YouTube channels Once we upload or we add any new video, we don't want you to miss, so that the YouTube community have responsibility to inform you, because the YouTube community is my monitor, just like your classroom monitor. We'll inform you about the next session that Olenjolai has added another or a new video in Tanzania online advanced secondary school. It's just like your monitor is informing you about presence of the next sessions or absence of the teacher. That's all. So YouTube community will give you notification for that. Right? Thank you for bringing that. May God bless you upon that. So after having this list of contents of the conic sections, let us begin now and go to the business. Right? This is the one. We asking all our students. Again, we have another weapon which is very important. And this weapon is called the scientific calculator. Scientific calculator. Scientific calculator. Okay. Scientific calculator, which is very important. Very important. Yes, very important. Then we have weapon number 5, which is called what? The scientific calculator. Very important for the PCM student, for PMC student, and also for the PGM students, for EGM students. Very important. We have original scientific calculator. We can ship into any regions of 31 regions of Tanzania. You can go to the descriptions of this video, click there, and you see we are distributing original scientific calculator, because this one we have it for 3 years and still working perfectly and effectively. So stop now buying the fake scientific calculator. Just come to the library of Tanzania Online Advanced Secondary Schools in square bracket OLENJOLAIM in order to have a guaranteed scientific calculator for the rest of your life in advanced education. Again, this contains possibly that you have your young brother, your elder brother, for the advanced, for the Form 6, right? For the Form 6 students, these contents are applicable for the PCM students who are doing the combination of PCM physics, advanced chemistry, advanced mathematics, and then others who are doing PMC, advanced physics, advanced mathematics, and then computer. And also, this is important for the students who are also doing PGM. This is important. Advanced physics, advanced geography, advanced mathematics. And the last group is EGM, because they are also learning advanced mathematics. So basically, the subject of advanced mathematics is being covered by students who are in those 4 categories, which are, we call them the science, the actual science categories. Okay. So then the next question now, let us begin with that definitions of 40. Definition. So this is 1.1. Definition of conic section. What is conic section? That's the next question. That's the fundamental question that Olenjolai has asked his students. So this is the fundamental question, the first question. What is conic section? What is conic section? Okay? What is conic section? Okay. Or define the conic section. So this is one of my oldest exercise book that comprises 4 topics, right? I've written the notes here of probability, the notes here of statistics, the notes here of vector, and notes of advanced vector, advanced statistics, advanced coordinate geometry too, and then there's an advanced probability. So even yourself, we need you to have an exercise book and a pen so that you have to copy and understand everything that we are teaching you. Just that you fail to understand, let me know in the comment section. Then I can assist you to go through this stuff. Okay, so if that's the case, we say that now, what is conic section, right? What is conic section? So we can have 2 definitions, right? We can have 2 definitions. Conic section, this is according to how we get it. Conic section, we begin with this one, how we get it, is any section, right? Is any section. Do you know the cone? Have you ever eaten the cone? Which obtained from a cone. Which obtained from what? from a cone, right? From a cone. She obtained from a cone. When this cone, it cuts, being cut, right? Just being cut from a cone when it is cut by a plane. By a plane, okay? By a plane. That is. Or another interesting now and even limited conic section. Another definition says that a conic section, say conic section. A conic section is a locus. Is a what? Is a locus. Is a what? Is a locus. So when I say locus, I'm speaking the mathematical language. Locus of what? Locus of the point. Not locus of the members. Locus of the point, right? Locus of the point, which moves. This point moves. Which moves. Okay, which moves. Okay, which moves in such a way. In such a way. In such a way that it's a distance from this point, right? It's distance. Okay, it's distance from a fixed point, from a fixed point, okay, from a fixed point, which this commonly point we call S, right? From fixed point S is always bears what? Bears a constant ratio. That the definitions of conic section. Tell your neighbor, I am understanding the concepts of conic sections. Tell your neighbor, I'm understanding the concepts of conic section. So a conic section is a locus of the point which moves in such a way that its distance, its distance from a fixed point is always bears what? It always bears a constant ratio. Constant ratio, always be a constant ratio to its distance. To its distance. To its distance from a fixed, to its distance from a fixed line. This is very important definition from a fixed to a fixed line. Okay? Which later on we'll call it directrix. This is very important definition for the entire topic of coordinate geometry too. Especially this very important definition for the parabola, it's very important definition for the hyperbola, it's very important definition for the ellipse. We are going to repeat these definitions in different aspects. Let me teach you right now. So tell your neighbor, get prepared for Olenjolai to teach you. What is conic section? So conic section is any section. Is any what? Is any section which obtained from a cone. Obtained from what? A cone. When this cone is cut by a plane. I didn't come with a cone, but you know the structure of the cone. Okay, so let me explain about that definition first. So suppose that we have a cone here. Right? You have a cone, okay, with the base of the circle. Okay? So this is the cone. And then suppose that we have a certain plane. We have a certain plane, right? Certain plane, which is in this shape. So you want to take this plane and cut the cone. And then what we get. So this is the plane. So this is the cone, this is the plane. And here, this is the cone, this is the plane. And this is the, remember this we call the vertex of the cone, and this is the base of the cone. So you have a distance here. And then sometimes that if you want to define the parameters of the cones, here we have a parameter called the height. This is the radius of the circle. So if you cut this plane now, you can find that maybe we generate a certain section, just like a circle if you cut at the center. So this is the conic section now. This is the conic section. So you see, after you cut, you get a conic section, which is called the circle. And I've told you the concept of circle in the in code measurement 1. And for those who are doing NTA level or ordinary diploma, third year ordinary diploma, who are doing NTA level 60, I told you the concept of the cycle with almost 7 lectures, if I'm not mistaken, 6 to 7 lectures. So you can go through according to your curriculum, not according to advanced. With advanced, we are going to have more than 10 sessions for the cycle. Not even more than 15 sessions for just the concept of the cycle. So this is the plane. Again, when you come to the second definition, that a conic section is a locus of the point. The locus of the point which moves in such a way that its distance from a fixed point S is always bears a constant ratio. Bears what? A constant ratio to its distance from the fixed line. We call it erratics. Right? So that's the meaning of what? Of the conic section. Or, let me just see, I can use other words for the second definition. A conic section, can say also, conic section is the locus of the point, is the locus of the point that moves, okay, that moves along the curve, along the curve, in such a way. You may not maybe ask me to define an exam, but remember that our main objective, we want you to understand such a way that its distance from fixed point, very important keyword, from fixed point, and this fixed point we call it in focus. Its distance from the fixed point to O, its distance from the fixed line, from the fixed line, okay, such a way that ratio of its distance, so here we have this sounding ratio of its distance from the fixed point to its distance from the fixed, okay, this is well understood too. So its distance from the fixed point to its distance from the fixed line, which we call the erratics, and I will teach you soon the meanings of the erratics, is always constant. Always constant. And this constant has a particular name called eccentricity. Interesting. So this is the definitions of the conic section. Okay? And the definitions of the conic section. Then we say that the study of conic section has a great importance in science and engineering. The study of conic section has greater contribution. Has a greater contribution in engineering. Has great contributions in engineering and science. So it's a very important concept for an engineer or for a scientist to know it. It's a general question. Still defining. Enjoying the beauty of, again, for you to stay connected, I remind you, whether you're watching from elsewhere, to subscribe to get notification. Then we come to say general question. Or general functions, or general formula of what? Of conic section. Of conic section, okay? So you say that the general questions a little bit. The general form of equation. General form of equation of a conic section. Of conic section is given below. This is A, x squared, plus B, y squared, plus C, or plus 2h, xy, then plus 2gh, h xy plus 2gx, 2gx plus 2fy Okay. So here the situation. We have noticed and we've seen that how this works. And then we come here into this moment. The general form of equations of conic section is given below. So it's given as this function. Okay? That's what our forefathers have been given. So this is the arrow. A form of being in business. Okay? So that is so it's the general questions of the order of the conic sections. And this is the general form. Okay? Are we together? So then afterwards, having this general question, we'll see that how we are going to use it lay down. Okay, so you say that right now we like to go to the next part. Okay, so to cut a cone from conic section. From conic section. To cut a cone to form a conic section. So as you say that, a conic section is a section that you obtain from cutting a cone by using what? A plane. Okay? As we say that, a cone will be cut to give what? Cone will be cut to give conic section. Okay, so let us continue to the very interesting section, and this section is forming conic sections, different conic sections by cutting a cone. So in engineering mathematics and even also in advanced mathematics, we can form a cone. No, we can form different conic sections from the cone. That's why it is called the conic section. So the word conic is come from the cone. So it means that we have the word cone. We know it is a structure because you are eating it every day, especially my female student. So the word conic is come from the word cone. So from the word cone, so the first 3 letters prevent the word cone, conic section. So sections also, it's a part of the cone. So we say that, for example, if you want to form forming a cycle. So we just need a single cone, right? Whether in this form or which its apex is inverted cone. So we call it just the inverted cone. So this is the center, right? So this is the center, okay? So this is the center, and then this is the head. This is the head. So in this case, we say that we have H, okay? We have H, and this is the radius. Okay, so this is the base of the cone. The base of the cone. Again, this is called the apex. So to get a cycle, we need to cut this cone by using a plane in this way. So we need to cut this cone, okay? So to formulate a surface like this. So this will be our cycle with constant radius. But you can draw it well, possible that the way I drew here is not perfect. You can use a protector and draw it to show it is a cycle. Okay, so this is the way that you have cut. It's not an ellipse, it's a cycle. So then the resulting, we say that, for instance, that we say, yes, so we can have just roughly, let me sketch the cycle. So this is the sketch of the cycle. So the cycle has a constant distance from the center to any point of the circumference. So this is the radius. And this point at the center, we call it the center. So the center has 3 points, x, y, 2 points, x, y. So this is the way that we are forming a cycle from what? From the cone. So that's what we call the conic section, because the cycle is one of the conic sections. So I told you that we have basically in advanced mathematics, we have 4 conic sections: cycle, parabola, hyperbola, and the ellipse. So then now, let me teach you how you can forming a parabola, right? A parabola. So to form a parabola, we can need possibly connect or combinations of the 2 cones. Suppose that we have a certain line like this, and then here again we have another line, and then here we do have this line, and then here we have another line. Here we do have another line. Is the base of the cone. So again, here we have a cycle from this arrow, and here we do have a cycle of radius r. So here we have connection of these 2 cycles. So this is radius 2, this is radius 1. Okay. So we have our conic section. So how do we form a parabola? Well, so according to the different sources, we form a parabola by cutting a cone in this style. So this is the style that we are forming a parabola. So the 3 conic sections, which is the parabola, ellipse, and hyperbola, they have some of the common properties which we are going to study and learn them and cover them within a minute. And these properties, we call them dialectics. The dialectics, and there's another point which we call the focus, or for key, in case of the ellipse and the hyperbola. So the resultant is shape right now. So we have the xy plane. So this is the y-axis, and here we have the x-axis, right? So this is the x-axis. Here we have 0, 0, right? And then suppose that here we have a line, we call it in coordinate geometry too as what? Dialectics. So when you have a dialectic, suppose that you have a parabola which is centered at the origins. It's not a translated parabola, right? So this is the way that we can draw. And then later on, so we can find that this is the point M, and we can find the ratio of the distance from P to M, and also possibly that from P to S, where S is what we call it a focus. So we are going to study in detail, so don't worry about that. And then the third shape, because you will never be asked about this, but the curriculum and the syllabus asked me to teach you, forming an ellipse. Say ellipse. So ellipse, now you know that the shape of the solar system is an ellipse, okay? Or even the solar system. So forming an ellipse, formatting from the core. So to form an ellipse, we can also cut, okay? But it's just like the way we are forming a cycle, but it's a little bit different. It's a little bit different. So we can have possibly a cone. Okay, that's after having this cone. This is the base of the cone. Here we have radius. And this is the center. And then, okay. So that's the case that we have. So we find that, okay, so this is the height and this is the radius, and then we can have what? We can form an ellipse. So this will be an ellipse, okay? So an ellipse, and then we find that this is the center. So this is the ellipse, okay? So simply, in mathematics, what will be dealing with? We're going to be dealing with an ellipse, because I'm going to teach you so many sessions, more than 10 sessions, if I'm not mistaken, of ellipse itself, especially for those who are learning advanced mathematics. Y-axis, this is x-axis. For the ordinary diploma, 5 sessions are enough. So this is an ellipse. Okay, so this is the shape of an ellipse. So, but this is still also a sketch. And here we have a center. For instance, here it is 0,0. Here we have something called the vertex. So vertex A, possibly B, C, D, I'll teach you. But on this side, we have 2 direct lines. For this, we call them direct lines or equations. So they are on both sides. Okay? So this is what? This is an ellipse. This is an what? An ellipse. Okay. Then can form now the last conic section, which is what? Hyperbola. I believe that you're enjoying the beauty of advanced mathematics, isn't it? Tell me in the comment sections if you do. So then number 4, we say that forming what? Forming a hyperbola. Forming a hyperbola. So forming a hyperbola, we say that from the conic sections, here we need combinations of the two cones. Okay? The 2 cones. So this one, and then here also we do have another cone. So here we have, okay, base of one cone, and this is the base of another cone. So we can have a height, the distance between the centers of the base of this cone. This is equal to R. Okay, R. Then this is the center. This, okay. So if this is the case, what do you say? That we say that forming a hyperbola. We can form a hyperbola by cutting in this style. That this one, we can cut it in this way. And then here, we can cut in this way. Okay? So even here, cut to this point. So you see that the hyperbola, we have, because later on I'm going to teach about some, also we call it mathematics eccentricity. But at this moment, you see that if we represent the hyperbola that we have reduced it there, first of all, we need the xy axis like this. So this is the y-axis, this is the x-axis, right? And then, what do we need again? We need again equation 2 lines of dialectics, right? Which are perpendicular to the focus of the parabola. Possibly, that suppose this is our curve of a parabola. And then again, on this side, is the curve of our hyperbola, right? So this is the questions of what direction. I don't want to define more because I'm going to teach you everything concerning about what I'm presenting there. I want just to show you the shape of the hyperbola when we cut the cone in a particular dimension by using what? A plane. If you have any question, don't hesitate to ask in the comment section. Okay, so then that's very important point. So now it means that if you need to list it, okay, so it means that listed conic section, okay, because that's one of our concepts or subparts that we have to cover. Listed connectivity sections. So to list it, so we say that there are only, just these repetitions, only 4 conic sections, because we do conic sections. After we cut a cone, but it's not a plane. And this is, I mentioned, but let me just repeat to insist it. Cycle, and the next one is what? Parabola. So I arrange them the way I'm going to teach you. Then after parabola, I'm going to teach you about ellipse, and the first one is hyperbola. Okay, so cycle you covered in coordinate geometry 1. When you say cycle, coordinate geometry 1, for those who are doing advanced education, for those who are doing for the ordinary diploma, yes, we have already covered about cycle before teaching parabola, ellipse, and the hyperbola. Okay, so this is what you have to make sure that we cover in order to master this concept effectively. I believe that you'll join me in every of these conic sections, so that we'll be pondering the concept in such a way it becomes simple, simpler, and simpler, and simpler. Okay. So now let me take you into, or let me teach you the last concept of this subtopic, which is terminologies of conic section. When I'll be teaching you the conic sections of hyperbola, ellipse as conic sections, and hyperbola as conic section, we are going to find some common terms, common terminologies that will be mentioning them in every aspect of these conic sections. These terminologies are not common in case of learning cycle, right? So you didn't hear them, because in case of cycle, just the common terms, you have to know the center, you have to know the radius of the cycle, the tangent lines, the normal, that's all. But in this, in the case of parabola, hyperbola, and ellipse, then there are some common terms that you have to learn this before, even if learning about the equations of the line, of the tangent line to the parabola, or to the ellipse, or maybe learning the concepts of equations of the normal line to the hyperbola, and etc., etc., etc. Okay, so what do we say that? We say, okay, fine. So we say that now, let me, ladies and gentlemen, teach you about 7 terminologies, and when I cover those terminologies, it will be the end of this session. Terminologies of what? Of conic section. Okay, terminologies of conic section. So I'll be, however, that in each of these subtopic, because these are the 3 subtopics that we are going to cover, the next subtopic will be parabola. However, that you will have some special terminologies in that particular conic section, but these are general, right? These are general. The first conic section, the first thing we call it, so we got terminology of the conic section. So the first terminology, we call it focus. Focus. Say focus. Focus of conic section. We're not talking focus or the lens or the video of cameras, or maybe still picture cameras or video cameras. No, I'm not talking about them. So you have a point we call it focus. So the first question, what is focus, or define focus of the conic section? Because you have to specify, even if you're using the online material, then you can get so many definitions of the focus and get confused. So we say that focus is a fixed point, Focus, what is focus? Focus is a fixed point on the interior. This is keyword, on the interior. On the interior of the object. So focus is a fixed point on the interior of the conic section. Focus is a fixed point on the interior part, or interior of the conic section. Of the conic section. So the focus, we say that Example, a parabola has one focus, and then ellipse and the hyperbola have two focus, which we call them foci. So foci, this is plural of focus. Okay? So that's the meanings of 14. That's what you say. So what is focus of the conic section is a fixed point on the interior part of the conic section. Parabola has one focus. Ellipse and hyperbola have two foci. For example, this is for the parabola, this is the first focus, and this is the second. For hyperbola, this is the hyperbola. First focus, second focus. But I think that it will be meaningful for you if I will give you geometrical examples. Okay, geometrical examples. Okay, to show you where is it, because I want to simplify this concept as well as I can, so that every student has to love advanced mathematics and even also basic engineering and scientific mathematics. So this is the y-axis, and suppose that this is x-axis. So then we say that suppose that here we have question of the directives. Okay, and here we have a parabola. I wanted a centrally parabola. Okay, so this is the parabola, and here we have a point we call the focus. So this is S is focus, which for this case is A, 0, right? And this is question of directives. So simply, this is the point we call the focus for the time being. And this is what the parabola. So this is what we call the y is equal to 4ax squared. We are going to start later. So this is one of the figure, call it possibly figure 4, figure 5, figure 2 and 6. So we call the focus of a parabola. And then we have the second point, or the second terminology. The second terminology, we call it directives. Directives. Say with me, directives. Say again, directives. 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 So the next question, the fundamental question, what is directives? What is directives? So directives is a fixed perpendicular line to the axis of the symmetry of the conic section. Is a fixed, so also this one is a fixed, not movable. Remember that here we said this is the fixed point. So even if we translate this cycle, right? No, we translate this parabola. We translate in the first quadrant. Then even this point also will be translated in the same magnitude, right? If we translate this parabola into the fourth quadrant of the xy plane, then we do translate also the fixed point, and you'll have the same magnitude. So that's why we call this the fixed point. It's not a dynamic point, it's a stationary point, right? I think that you've understood what I'm telling you. What there is, so direct is a fixed perpendicular. Is a fixed perpendicular line to the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry of conic section. So this also, it is a fixed perpendicular line. So it's a line, it's not a point. For example, in this figure 2.6, this is directives, right? So this is directives. We call it the equation of the directives. It's the equation called the equation of directives. So this is the directives. See? So this is the directives. it's perpendicular of axis of symmetry. The axis of symmetry for this parabola, or axis of symmetry, it's a line which dividing a curve into two equal parts. So the axis of symmetry for this parabola is what is x-axis. That is very important terminology also in conic section. So we say that the directrix is the perpendicular. So this the directrix we can have, for example, parabola, it has one directrix, and then for the ellipse and hyperbola, it has two or three directrices. So it's plural. It's plural. So when we here we have directrix, this is singular. It's plural. We just call it directrices. Directrices, right? Okay, so I have shown you. Again, the second node is axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. This is not actual unity or important in case of parabola, but it's very important in case of ellipse and hyperbola. Axis of symmetry, right? So then we have the question: what is axis of symmetry? Okay, axis of symmetry, we say that is a line which divides, so this is the line which divides the curve into two equal parts. Okay, example, it depends. Okay, it depends. So it can be x-axis, example, in figure 2.6 above, the axis of symmetry, is x-axis. That's fine. Okay? X-axis, that's the axis of symmetry. But it's not all the time that the x-axis for the parabola or the axis of symmetry of parabola to be x-axis. Depends. Okay? Depends. Then now we go to the so the axis of symmetry, so it's a line which divides the curve into two equal parts. So this is, before I go to the first terminology, before I say that the axis of symmetry of any conic section should be pass through the center, through the center of what? No, through the focus, through the center of the conic section, but mainly the focus. Through the focus, center, and what? Center, and it should be perpendicular. Should be perpendicular to x. It should be perpendicular to the directrix. Okay. So that's the point. Very important point. Okay. So that the definitions of what of axis of symmetry. Okay. Then we go for the first point. We have again the first point. We call it vertex. Vertex. Say vertex. Again, say vertex. We have to pronounce these terms because we are going to use them and we are going to mention them several times more than you think. So that's why that I want you to familiarize these points or these terminologies before we start using them. Because when we start using them, I'll be sketching and showing where can we find this vertex and then how we can use on the particular conic section. So we have vertex, or in plural we call it vertices. So basically, what is vertex? What is vertex? So simply vertex, say that is a point. So vertex is a point. So this is the point of intersection. So this is the point of intersection between a conic section. Example, when you say conic section, example, parabola, ellipse, parabola, hyperbola, etc., etc. And what? And the axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. So if we come back to figure 2.6, this is our parabola. So these lines, it's our curve, which is at a parabola or conic section. This is our axis of symmetry. This is the focus point or focal point. Here, this point, where that this axis of symmetry, which is horizontal line, and the curve intersecting, this point, it's a point that we call it in geometry, or in coordinate geometry, we call it vertex. So a parabola has only one vertex. While we say that, if, for example, ellipse has 4 vertices. Ellipse has 4 vertices. And a parabola, it has only 2 vertices. So you have to bear that in mind. So that the vertex. So example, a parabola has 1 vertex point. Okay? While an ellipse, or while a hyperbola has 2 vertices. Then we say that an ellipse has 4 vertices. So a parabola has 1 vertex, a hyperbola has 2 vertices, and an ellipse has 4 vertices. Okay? So that's a very important concept that you have to understand. Then another terminology, the 5th terminology, before I take you to the last, because we still have 2. Okay, so the 6th, point, this is not found in the 5th one, the 5th point. So the 5th point, before we define the one that's common for all, is called the center. So only ellipse, yes, only ellipse which are the center. Yeah. So what is center of conic section? If you want to expand possibly the concept or enlarge the concept, you can say even the side concept as a center. What is center? So I say center. We say that center is a point which bisects every chord. Is a point which bisects every chord. Every chord of conic section, because of conic section, which is passing through it. which is passing through it, through the center. This terminology is commonly found in ellipse itself. This is y-axis, this is x-axis. So, this is the concept. Okay, y-axis, x-axis. So, we want to define this point. This is center. Okay. So we have a chord, this is the chord, this is the chord. So this is what we call the center, which also comprises with two coordinate points. Okay. So that's the center, or 40 of the ellipse. So this is the ellipse. And the questions of the ellipse is x squared. I will teach you how to derive it. Y squared over b squared. So this is figure what? 2.7. 2.7. Okay, figure 2.7. So it's an ellipse. Okay, so if this is the case, we say that, okay, fine. So, okay, y-axis, x-axis, that is. So this is the center, okay? Not the center. Huh? So, the sixth terminology. So remember that here we do have the question of the vertex or the vertex line, like this. And the 6C concept, so that it will be easy for me to teach you this, the seventh terminology. This now is common for all the three conic sections. We call it eccentricity, which we use a small or a lowercase e. Eccentricity. Say eccentricity. Say again eccentricity. 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 So, what is eccentricity? How to finish this lecture or this session? What is eccentricity? What is eccentricity? Wow. So eccentricity, we say that is a constant ratio. Is a constant ratio of what? Of the distance from what? From fixed point to the curve fixed point, which you call the focus, if you remember. Okay, the curve to the distance from the vertex, which is a fixed line, now you know the curve. So you say that we have, first of all, is a constant ratio. Secondly, this is the distance from where? Fixed point, so we have focus to the curve. To the distance from what? From the directrix to the curve. Okay? So let me just show you an example. So this is y-axis, this is x-axis. Here it is, the vertex, this is focus. So this is, for instance, is one of the point. This is another point in the lattice. So this is S, A, comma 0. And here we have a point which is called X, comma Y. But this point M, we say it is what? Cost is a constant distance, is negative A, comma Y. Okay? So we say now eccentricity. We don't define that eccentricity. So that's the example I want to show you, eccentricity of the parabola. So eccentricity, if you remember, we say that is the ratio of the distance from what? From fixed point or from focus to the curve of what? And it is constant distance from what? From the vertex line, directrix, resulting to the curve or to the parabola for this case. So if the distance from focus to the curve or to the parabola is SP, right? Then we divide with the distance from the directrix, these fixed lines to the curve. And this distance we can call it P_M. So this is what we call the eccentricity. Eccentricity of a conic section, or eccentricity of parabola for this case. Okay? So it's a ratio of the distance from the fixed point to the curve to the distance from the fixed line to the point. So it's a ratio. So how many eccentricity do you have? 4 eccentricity. Eccentricity of the cycle, eccentricity of what? Of the parabola, eccentricity of the ellipse, eccentricity of hyperbola. Okay? Again, we say that this eccentricity, or this concept of eccentricity, so say eccentricity, so not before, say that eccentricity of any conic section, measures what? Measures how much conic section, on how much measures on how much the conic sections, the cycle, ellipse, etc., varies from being a circular. Conic section, I have to say that cycle or ellipse or hyperbola, etc., varies from being circular. For being what? Circular. So it's measured on how much? Measured on how much the conic section varies from being what? From being circular. Okay. What does it mean? Okay. That's a good question. So it means that when the value of eccentricity of the conic section is small, then that conic section is more circular. When the value of eccentricity is bigger, is large, then we say that that conic section is less circular. Okay, so that is number one. Number two, second note, we say that. So we say that number two, eccentricity, which is E of the cycle, is 0. means that A is equal to 0. Again, we say that the centricity of ellipse. Okay? Simplicity, no. Let us begin this parabola. I want to arrange simplicity of parabola. Simplicity of parabola is 1. So simplicity of parabola is 1. So mean A is equal to 1. Again, the simplicity of ellipse, say ellipse, is less than 1. So this is less than 1. So centricity is less than 1. Again, we say that the centricity of hyperbola, centricity of hyperbola is greater than 1. So see A is greater than 1. And then we say that the centricity of a line, of a straight line, is infinity. So say the centricity of straight lines is infinity. That's why a straight line is not what? A cycle. So eccentricity is the measure on how much the conic sections is defined as what? As a cycle. So those are the these are the centricity of the different shape. Centricity of the cycle, centricity of parabola, centricity of ellipses, centricity of hyperbola, centricity of the straight line. So 5 eccentricity values that I've given to you. Then now let me finish up this session 2, about the conic section. Me end my session with this concept, with this terminology, the seventh terminology, because you understand why did I introduce you these terms in advance. Lattice, rectum. Lattice, rectum. Lattice, rectum. It's kind of Latin word. Lattice, rectum. So we have a question. What is lattice rectum? What is lattice rectum? Okay? So lattice rectum is a chord passing through the focus and perpendicular to the axis. Later on, we'll be having a length of lattice rectum, right? In the next session. I think that's session 4, possibly or session 5. Okay, so we are going to discuss about lengths of lattice rectums of parabola, lengths of lattice rectums of ellipse, lengths of lattice rectums of hyperbola. So we are introducing and building the strong foundation in your mind to know that there is a terms which you call the lattice rectum. Lattice rectum. Okay, so it's a chord passing through a focus and perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So lengths of lattice rectum. No, lattice rectum is the chord. The chord passing through. So this is the chord passing through the fixed point, which you call it passing through the focus, and it's also, it is passing through, and it is perpendicular. It is perpendicular to the fixed line. to the axis of what? Axis of symmetry. Axis of symmetry. So if the chord passing through the fixed point of the focus, and also it's perpendicular to the axis of symmetry, perpendicular to the axis of 40 of the symmetry. Okay? So that's the meanings of latus rectum. So latus rectum is a chord passing through the fixed point, which is focus, and it is perpendicular to the axis of symmetry. So for example, if you want to draw the latus rectum as a line, this is the line, which is perpendicular to the x-axis, which is the axis of symmetry for this hyperbola, which is for this parabola, which is y is equal to 4ax squared. General equations. Hyperbola centered at origin. Okay? So it's latus rectum, you can say that is A or T, AB. So A, right? And this is figure 2.7. Okay, figure 2.7, AB. So this is called T. So the point A to B we call T. This is the chord, latus rectum. So it's a chord. So this is what? Latus rectum. Okay? So that is latus rectum. So example, okay, check out. So yeah, so check the figure y axis. So check this figure. So this is y, okay, axis of 40. Okay, so it's a parabola. So that is the latus rectum. So this is figure 2.7. Okay. So remember that this was the session for the Form 6 student or class 14 who are taking the combinations of PCM, PGM, and the physics, mathematics, the chemistry called the PMC, and EGM, economics, geography, and mathematics in Tanzania. But also these contents are relevant for the NTA level 60 ordinary diploma students who are learning the modules which called conics and the differential equation, or it can be called it that possibly that conics called the geometry and calculus. They don't worry about the names, the issue, the content. So now it's a time for me to leave the homework. This is homework 2, right? Homework 2. And so homework 2, that's like a rough questions. So homework 2, what is parabola? Because the homework always prepare you, testing your understanding, but also prepare you in some scenarios, prepare you about the next lecture. What is parabola? And the question, what is parabola? So it's a simple question, but ponder that piece of information, very important, it will help you in the next session. This is the end of session 1 of which stated as the concepts of the conic sections. I thank God, first of all, who have created me in His image and likeness, and I thank God also who have given me this great idea of teaching millions of the students of present and future generations by using the power of the internet. And also I thank God who have been with me during the preparation of these sessions and even at this time when I have been teaching you. So may God bless you abundantly. I thank God also who have given me a chance to follow me. In case you have any question, don't forget to subscribe into our YouTube channels. Just press the button there because we are going to have more than 500 videos in Tanzania online advanced secondary school in square bracket Olenjolai. Again, share these contents, ask questions in the comment section, answer questions also other students they have asked me worldwide or anywhere else in the world. And again, in the comment section, tell me that you're enjoying this content from which school, from which city in Tanzania, or from which city in any of the African country, from which African country, maybe from which continent, America, Europe, Asia. So just tell us in the comment sections because we'll be happy to see that how these contents have been spread into millions of the students as we're expecting of the present and future generation. So thank you very much. I invite you in session 3 when I'll be teaching you about the general introductions of the parabola. Then we are going to have some mathematical issues and derivations, because in this topic we'll be having so much derivation and even solving problem, and most of the problems in the conic sections are word problem. So we given these problems in the word problem, we define, but we'll be presenting all our information geometrically first in order to simplify the given problem and put in a very simple language, which actually now our students will be happy and they can tackle it at any given moment. So enjoy the beautiful advanced mathematics. Don't forget to insist and even inform your classmates, your young brothers, your children, if your parents will be watching right now these contents, if you're a teacher. Also, encourage your students to go through these supplementary materials that they can just give them confidence in advance these subjects, and they have to do well and they have to understand the classroom instructions. But again, when you are taking these contents, you are allowed to revise these sessions and watch it several times as well as you can, so that the concepts will click in your mind. And while you are watching, you have to think, how am I going to use this piece of information to solve a real life problem? So until I meet you in the next session, may God keep you and bless you throughout the way to the next session 3.